Everyone, hope everyone had a wonderful, wonderful week. Baruch Hashem, the Yeshiva is off to a fantastic start. We have 98 Shana Aleph guys, over 40 Shana Bet guys making an amazing impression, and Baruch Hashem, great start to the year. We read this week's Parshas Ki Teze, and the Torah opens up this parsha with an amazing halacha. We are told that when you go out to war, Ki Teze la milchama or aleivecha, and you're victorious in war, you're successful in war, so you might take female captives. And V'ra'isa b'shivya eishes yefas Torah, you find in your captivity a beautiful woman, v'chashakta bach, and you are desirous of her, v'lakachta l'chal isha, and you want to take her as a wife. And Rashi brings from Chazal an amazing din. Rashi tells us, Lo dibra Torah ela keneged Yetzirah, this sanction was because of the nature of the Yetzirah. Shem ein HaKadosh Baruch Hu matira, if Hashem would not allow us to marry this eishes yefas Torah, Yisa ena be'isr, we would take her be'isr anyway, and therefore the Torah is mater, because we can't expect in the pressures and trials and tribulations of warfare, where emotions run high, passions run high, the violence, etc. So we feel the average person, even a tzaddik, would not necessarily be able to withstand this Yetzer Hara, and as a result, a heter, lo dibra Torah keneged Yetzer Hara, you'd violate the Isser, so we're going to matter it to you. It's an amazing comment of Chazal. And I think it's telling us something deeply profound. I heard this from my Rebbe, Rav Yonason Sachs, many times, but he argues that if here the Torah says, you know what, this is a nisayon that we feel the average person, even perhaps a tzaddik, could not withstand, and therefore we make a concession, we allow him to take this wife because he's going to do it anyway, that means that in every other area of Torah, where the Torah does not give you concessions, where the Torah says various halachas, don't speak lashon hara, keep kibud avayim, shmira seinaim, shmira sabris, shmira shabbos, tefillah b'tzibur, whatever it might be, where the Torah has expectations, has halachos, has demands, and it doesn't offer you these concessions, it means the Torah, Hashem, Chazal believe that you can actually accomplish, you can actually do it, you can achieve it. In other words, the parish of Eishes Yefas Torah, where the Torah concedes Lo Dibra Torah Keneged Yetzer Hara, reveals and illuminates every other area of Torah where we're not given the concession that you can do it. You're able to do it, and you just have to work on yourself. That's an unbelievable Musar Haskell, something to really think about. In that context, I would just argue that as the Torah describes Eishes Yefas Torah, it does give us, though, a recipe, because the Torah doesn't want us to be with this woman. We should be marrying Jewish women, not female Gentile captives. So the Torah gives us a certain formula how to deal with ta'ava, how to deal with temptation, how to deal with things that draw us in. Step number one is there always going to be these kind of physical stimuli that are very immediate that prompt us into this avera. And so therefore the Torah tells us that you bring her into your house, but vegilcha es rosha ve'asesas tziparnea, shave her head, cut down her fingernails. Those physical allures that attract us, realize that you're in this relation. When you're taking her for a wife, it's going to be long term, and realize that do not get excessively influenced by the externalities, by her long and attractive hair, by her long fingernails. Get rid of that. Do you still want her? Is this really what you want? So step number one is we have to kind of eliminate those immediate external pulls. That's where things like Shmira Seinayim kick in, is that we have to be careful what we look at, what we watch, what we see, because all of that influences what we desire, our passions, what we want. And then the Torah tells us, stunning. The Torah tells us, you know what? The next parsha in the Chumash after Eishes Yefas Torah is the parsha of Isha Snua, a wife who a husband dislikes, hates, and he wants to divorce. And then right after that, we have the parsha of Ben Sorer Umore. And the Torah tells us that this is not a coincidence. The Smichus HaParshus, the juxtaposition, is so much by design, is that person's going to be attracted to this Eishes Yefas Torah. He might end up marrying her, but again, the relationship is skin deep. It's not real. It's not authentic. It's not founded on kedusha. So yes, while the temptation was real and the passions are high, but that wears off. And now what do you have? What are you left with? You're left with an Isha that you don't really like, that you're not connected to on a more profound, deep, emotional level, psychological level. The beauty is only skin deep. And that was the draw, but that wears off. And you're left with an Isha Snua. And then what happens if there's an unhealthy relationship amongst the husband and wife? So then it affects the children. Ben Sora Mora, a self-centered child, a gluttonous child, a child who is corrupted by an unhealthy family environment. It all starts from the Eshes Yifaz Toar, Isha Snua, and then to Ben Sora Mora. So before you act, before you take this move, before you go down this path, you act on this immediate temptation, pause. Take a moment and think, where is this going to lead me? Is this really good for me in the long term? A lot of times we balance immediate pleasures with long-term damage. On the one end, the immediate pleasure is very, very intense. On the other hand, when we play it out, all that junk food is very, very pleasurable. But when it yields later on in life, Rahman al-Islan, heart disease, obesity, and the like, wasn't really worth it. So play it out. See where this is heading. Isha Snua, Ben Sora Mora. There's a profound lesson over here. Number one, as we mentioned, is if the Torah gives us a concession here, so that is a machayev in all other areas of Torah. But number two is that before you take advantage of this concession, before you say yes to this concession, think about it. Is it really worth it? Even that which is mutter might still be wrong, and therefore think about the implications. Don't act on your immediate desire. Where is this leading you? Where is it heading? Is it worth it in the long term? Is this really, really what you want? Such profound lessons from the Parsha of Eshes Yifaz Toar. I want to wish everyone a beautiful Shabbos Kodesh.